Hi guys, I'm Nicholas with LifeWorks and welcome to the Powerhouse Podcast. Today we're going to talk about what it really means to be a powerhouse. And so we have an incredible community. We call it the Powerhouse Pact. And essentially it's a group that's fully in alignment with the mission, the call, and the purpose that God's placed on their lives. And it affects every area of life. There's no area, in fact, that it doesn't touch, that it doesn't impact. And that's the power of living life in alignment with your purpose. You know, years ago, I just drove by actually today the church, but Rick Warren in Mission Viejo, he had a book come out a long time ago called The Purpose Driven Life, and it was super popular. I've read it. I wasn't super, honestly, just my interpretation, wasn't super impressed with it, but the topic of living a life driven by purpose is wanted or desired by everybody. I mean, there's nobody who doesn't want that, because the opposite of that is living a life where you're not on purpose. That means you lack energy. That means you lack fulfillment. That means you lack success and achievement, right? Every area is affected by this, positively or negatively, depending on how on point or on purpose you really are. And so this community, I've been looking for communities like this for the longest time. But the Powerhouse Pact is a group of mission-driven, purpose-driven individuals that love God and are fueled by what they feel they're called to do on this planet. And when you fully align your actions daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and you have a rhythm and flow of how you do life and who you do life with that aligns with your ultimate why, like why you're here on this planet, it makes life so much more. It just makes it more. And that's what our aim is to do. So what does a powerhouse mean? A powerhouse is somebody who has ability or power within themselves to affect change, to cause and influence the world around them for the better. So when people are with you, it's better that they're with you. When people are around you or moved by your company, by your movement, by your life, they're better off because they came in contact with you. That's a powerhouse. And so living that lifestyle doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen by default. It happens by design. Want to talk to you about real quick today, kind of the perspective or the premise that life is a game. And in any game, kind of like you watch sports games, there's a field, there's players, and there's those that are spectators. And we get a choice in life. We can live as spectators, watching everybody else make their plays, or the top few percent make their plays, make a life, and build a life that's just awesome. Or we can say, here I am, Lord, send me, get on the field and take a stand. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And so having these values, having a vision, having a purpose that you have a complete and total alignment with, a yes to, that's authored by God and fulfilled by you partnering and saying yes, there's power in that. You are literally designed, your identity is purpose to be a powerhouse, to have a call on your life and to actually affect change by the life that you live and the alignments that you have and the vision that you live by. Well, how do you find out what that vision is? How do you know what that purpose is? And how do you live it out every single day? And so that's the question. The pathway is really simple. It's the powerhouse pathway. And the pathway is 4 phases. Phase 1 is you start with a place of being aware. Most of the time we don't know that we're not living on purpose until we know. And ignorance is a common kind of thing that leads to complacency and leads to lack in so many areas of life. But when you become aware and you start living from a place of awareness, you have a point of decision to make. And when you make the decision and you say, yes, I'm all in, I'm going to take a stand, I'm going to go out and on the field, no matter how poorly I initially play, no matter how bad I am, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make the plays. I'm going to make the effort to step out. And in each step that I take, more life begins to open up, because action creates clarity. A lot of times we think, no, I need to get clear first. I need to get all this stuff in order. No, you actually need to take action first. And then in your actions, you'll get clear. The second phase, after awareness, phase number 1, is the phase of clarity. Okay, that's where we really begin to see the future version that we're becoming. And we actually write it out and define it. We define what does that life look like in very clear detail. And so the LifeWorks Academy has all of those phases of what does it mean to be a powerhouse? Cool. Once you're a powerhouse, you understand you live by a vision. You live by a code. You live by purpose. You break down your ultimate vision and you strategically implement missions, quarterly checkpoints, and you're always moving forward with accountability. Phase 2 is the clarity part, where we clarify what does that journey look like for you. Phase 3 is where we get clear about the accountability part. Okay, it's cool to know what to do. In fact, most of us know what to do, but to do what you know is very rare. Most people don't do that. And so we talk about what does it take to get a plan and a place together where you're in a community and you're in a place of accountability to go out and actually affect change. Interesting study, it's called the Hawthorne effect. And in the 1920s, it was a study done by an electric company in Cicero, Illinois, if I'm pronouncing that correct, Cicero, Illinois. And they basically did this test to see what was the effect, what changed or caused more productivity in the workers in the factory. So they tried to change a bunch of different things like the light, the time they go to lunch, the time they do all this and that. And after a significant amount of time, over 10 years of reviewing and going over what makes these people productive with overwhelming evidence, and since been proven again and again by Harvard Business School and other incredible studies you can look up, the Hawthorne effect states that people they're going to increase their productivity if they know that they're going to give an account, or if they know that they're being seen or viewed by the work that they do. In other words, if you can think back to a time, like how much better did you perform when somebody was watching your work, or you had to give an account and show your work at a certain time, in a place and time? You probably did a lot better, right? Because there was an account to what you were doing. They found that it was 30 to 50% increase in productivity by just simply having a weekly review. Another study about goal setting was really interesting. Dale Craig, he did this study where he found out 80% of the test subjects, they were all Americans, didn't have goals. 16% did say they had goals, but they didn't write them down. 4% wrote them down, and only less than 1% reviewed them regularly. What's interesting is the top 5% of those people in that study made almost 10 times more money in their lifetime than all the others. That's the power of having accountability and review. So we build that in the system. That's step number 3 is accountability. And the 4th step is mastery. There's an 11-day journey that the Israelites took from going from Egypt in bondage to the promised land. It would have only taken 11 days journey. But it took them 40 years because they were going around the same mountain again and again and again, because they did not have effective framework to be able to go into the next level of thinking and mindset. They got stuck spinning their wheels instead of moving forward with momentum. And so the final phase is mastery. It's literally mastering the basics. Okay, what is it that's going to take you from where you are to where you want to be? And what's the mechanism or the vehicle that allows you to develop mastery? Just master the basics. Do the best at what you can do with the simplest things. Darren Hardy wrote a book called The Compound Effect, and it talks about habit. And the compound effect is doing smart, small, consistent choices over a long period of time equals success. It's nothing crazy. In fact, I had a gentleman who was a Navy SEAL, and he had finished the Navy SEAL training, just got out of the final training for it, and we were celebrating at his house, this incredible celebration. And I asked him, I said, what was it like? Like, what was the hardest thing? What was the most challenging activity that you guys did? And I'm imagining it being like climbing up this rope with one hand and, being able to do superhuman tasks. And he said, you know what, Nicholas, it's not that we did anything that was extraordinarily challenging or difficult in and of itself, but we just did the simple things at an extreme amount of time and level. We literally mastered the basics, like a push-up. You could do 10 push-ups right now pretty easy, but could you do 10,000 this week? That's the challenge. That's the effect. He got more reps. And so master the basics is the fourth step. Number 1, awareness and decision. Number 2, clarify your vision, your values, your direction. Number 3 is accountability around your habits, your goals, and the trajectory of your life. And then number 4, master the basics. Make sure you're going around the same topics that allow you to get from point A to point Z in the most effective and efficient way. Compound your life, compound the basics. So that's it. What does it mean to be a powerhouse? The Powerhouse Pact we have with LifeWorks is just a group of powerhouses, like individuals that go after the 4 main kind of habits of life that make life work: your spirit, your body, your relationships, and your purpose. And then combine all of that through simple, small, smart choices every single day to develop and build a life and a vision and live on purpose, the life that God's called you to live. So my name is Nicholas with LifeWorks. You're interested in any of that, join or visit our website at lifeworksmovement.com, and feel free to continue enjoying this content if it's adding a value to your life. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe to the video on YouTube as well, and we'll see you soon.